first become friends? How did you meet?
Through his girlfriend.
Why? Why were you staying with a convicted sex offender?
Right. Doing it over the telephone was Chicken's way of doing it. I had to go and see him.
Oh, this is going well.
Well, I was there, so there was a dinner. I don't think it was quite as you might put there for. I was there at a dinner. Yeah.
I'm just trying to work this out. You were staying at the house of
Yes.
a convicted sex offender.
It was a convenient place to stay.
What?
Judgment was probably coloured by my tendency to be too honourable, but that's just the way it is.
What? Was coming and going at the time. There is video footage.
His house described it more as a railway station, if you know what I mean.
A foot massage from a young Russian woman. Did that happen?
No.
For Epstein's house?
No.
It might seem a funny way to break off a friendship.
No recollection of meeting her.
Because she was very specific. She described the dance that you had together in Tramp, that she went on to have bath, possibly.
There's a slight problem with the sweating. I have a peculiar medical condition, which is that I don't sweat, or I didn't sweat at the time, and that was, oh actually, yes, I didn't sweat at the time because I had suffered what I would describe as an overdose of adrenaline in the Falklands War when I was shot at, and I simply it was almost impossible for me to sweat.
Can't sweat. I bet the Queen was like, "What the fuck is he doing? My son's an absolute moron." No, he makes Charles look like Stephen Fry.
Seen the photo?
I've seen the photograph.
How do you explain that?
I can't. That's me, but whether that's my hand or whether that's...
By Epstein, we understand, in Ghislaine Maxwell's house.
Nickname you have?
I'm listening. Which nickname?
Randy Andy.
I'll tell you exactly where that originated from.
I've never really felt the need to go and party. Straightforward shooting weekend.
We now know that he was and had been procuring young girls.
Things were to look for, but I never saw them.
So you would have made that connection because you stayed with him, you were a visitor, a guest on many occasions at his homes. Just for the record, you've been on his private plane. You've been to stay on his private island.
Yes.
You've stayed at his home in Palm Beach.
Yes, and Beatrice to a Pizza Express in Woking, so therefore I was at home.
Why would you remember that so specifically? Why would you remember a Pizza Express?
Because going to Pizza Express in Woking is an unusual thing for me to do. A very unusual thing for me to do. But as soon as somebody reminded me of it, I went, oh yes, I remember that.
Are you talking about, you silly little man?